Do you remember Dragons, Fire and Ice? Dragons, Fire and Ice is a 3D animated fantasy movie produced by Megablox and Bardell Entertainment. For those who don't know, Megablox, now known as Mega Brands, was essentially a competitor to LEGO with their own line of building blocks and other accessories. And Bardell Entertainment is a Canadian animation studio that helped work on such things such as Ren and Snippy, The Magic School Bus, Rugrats, Bob's Burgers, Rick and Morty, and a tons of others. They actually have quite the resume, and on that resume is Dragons, Fire and Ice. So this movie was pretty much just a tie-in to the toy line of the same name. In other words, a big walking advertisement. I'd say it did very well since it garnered a sequel I didn't know existed until researching this, but after that, it looks like it went all downhill from there. The movie story is about a world which was once full of dragons until conflict from humanity drove them away, with the exception of two, one with the Norwegian and the other with the Dragar. Our main characters of the movie are Prince Dev of the Norwegian and Princess Kira of the Dragar. These two were born in a time of war amongst each kingdom. Other characters of the movie are Olsef, king of the Norwegian and father of Dev, and Sidari, king of the Dragar and father of Kira. These two don't get too much screen time, and anytime they do, it's usually fighting each other.
I knew they were behind this! Attack! Warriors!
The last character's name is Xenos, a wizard that was granted the power to control ice and immortality by the dragons as a gift to act as a middle ground for the conflicting kingdoms.
Seeking to end the wars, the Dragon King made the wizard Xenos ambassador between the dragons and the two kingdoms. He was given dragon gifts and immortality.
One day when Dev and Kira were young, they flew their dragons towards a fireball falling from the sky, which turns out to be another dragon, knocking them all out in front of it. This dragon chooses both Dev and Kira to obtain magical powers, and bestows upon them magical teardrops and then disappears. 8 years pass. Now Dev and Kira have had it with the war, and just want it to end despite each other's father's objections of how that's not that simple. They both head out to fight each other to finally end the war. Their followers follow suit with their armies. While in battle, they are quickly interrupted by an army of Vorgans, and the kings both get captured. Dev and Kira make it out with the help of Xenos. He explains that there's another dragon named Thoron who sent these Vorgans to attack them. Xenos sends Dev and Kira to kill Thoron.
He must have stolen the Orathon and used it to open the portal from Dragon World. But he was badly injured in the process. He's been in hiding ever since, trying to heal before I find him.
They fight Thoron only to find out that he's actually the king of dragons, and that the real evil is Xenos, and that he was the real reason why all the dragons are gone now.
Little did we know how such power would corrupt him. Slay my queen, and take her ice crystal.
No wonder you went back to the Dragon World.
Thoron helps train Dev and Kira so that they are able to properly control their powers and fight Xenos to save their kingdoms.
Earth, wind, fire, water. I gave you each the ability for one, in the hopes it might help you survive.
They head back to the Ice Palace for the final showdown. They end up defeating Xenos, exiling him into the Dragon World for the rest of eternity. The dragons also return to the human world, and now there's everlasting peace between the two kingdoms. And that was Dragons, Fire and Ice. I thought it was an average film as far as advertisements go. It could have used a bit more development or some more world building or character building. Maybe have them train a bit more, but hey, at least they tried within the movie time limit. I used to watch this movie about once a year when it aired on TV, and I remember liking it, but now I just think it's just serviceable. Its animation definitely doesn't hold up, but then again, its budget, according to Google, was only $4 million, so they did what they could with it. Overall, it's a nice nostalgic trip, but I can't see myself watching this too often. And maybe I'll watch the sequel someday.